And now apparently Umar Johnson is a deadbeat pops.
Oh man, hey, it ain't so.
So Umar is currently embroiled in a bit of controversy because there's a woman who I think she says she's 22 years old who is claiming that Umar Johnson is her biological father. She claims to have receipts on this, and she is saying that this guy has not been involved in her life. He's never come around. They have no relationship. And she also found out that she has a sister who shares a father. They both share the same father in Umar, and she wants to meet her sister, and she is not being permitted to do so because Umar is ignoring her requests, her attempts to meet her biological sister because Umar is not allowing it to happen. And so she said that she tried to make several attempts to make this happen off the internet, and she hasn't been successful in doing so. And so now she's taken her quest onto the internet. She stresses that she is not trying to clout chase, but that she is doing this out of necessity because this guy is a hypocrite because of his public persona. It is not in line with the way that he has carried his relationship on with this person, and on top of that, he is also stopping her from meeting an apparent sister that she has. So all the way around, this is a bit of an ugly situation. But this says Dr. Umar's deadbeat denial denounces alleged daughter's defamation. Dr. Umar Johnson is known as the premier Pan Africanist, but he found himself at the center of a social media firestorm. A young woman hit TikTok with claims alleging that the prince of Pan Africanism is an absentee father. Dr. Umar, a deadbeat dad, we have to talk about it. Dr. Umar did not take that one lying down, he went off. But let us take a step back. Who is this woman? Right now, she's a mystery, an unnamed Philly lady that insists she's not here for clout. She just wants answers. According to her, she reached out to another woman she believes is her sister, only to be left with more questions. She then takes to social media to drag Umar for his so called hypocrisy, essentially saying, "How are you an advocate for black families while allegedly neglecting your own?" He has not been in my life, she claimed. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts. You can't get on Instagram and social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black daughter's life.
Mm,
So yeah, let's go ahead and play some of this woman's testimony here.
crazy.
Hey TikTok, so I just wanted to come on here with a small short announcement. I just want to start this video off by saying I'm not trying to get clout. I literally just want to have a conversation with my father. My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts. Okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It doesn't make sense. You're being a hypocrite. And it's frustrating because I reached out to you. I reached out to you. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm your daughter. But I'm smart enough and logical enough to know that you would never reach out to me because you don't have my phone number. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't try to reach out to me because for what? I don't want anything out of you. I want nothing but a conversation. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you and you shut me down. You ignored me. You should never be too busy for your daughter ever in life. So I just wanted to make this video to just try to, I guess, somehow find my sister on my dad's side. So if you see this, please reach out to me. Please DM me because I want to know who you are. Why do I have siblings out there that I don't know about? It's unfair. And deadbeat fathers is very common nowadays, especially in the black community, right? We all know Dr. Umar reps the black community or whatever, but you can't rep that if you're not even in your daughter's life. You moving backwards. You're moving backwards. It's not making sense. To the public, you look like this person, but in private, you a whole nother person. And I'm not bashing you. I just don't understand why you're ignoring me. I'm 22 years old and you have yet to be in my life. No graduations, no parties. When I get married, are you going to be at the wedding? Are you going to walk me down the aisle? Yo, I have a stepdad who has been in my life since a little girl. He has been in my life. And I thank God for him, because my biological father couldn't even do that, y'all. My biological father is not even on my birth certificate, because when my mom had me, he left. And I do have a DNA test. So yes, I can prove that that's my father. I would never get on here and lie to y'all. That's kind of sick and delusional and crazy. But I'm just making this video because I want to find my sister. And when I reached out to him about giving me her number, or if he even had it, I was ignored. So now I guess I have to take matters into my own hands. So if you see this video, sister, please reach out to me, because if he's not going to allow us to be in contact, I'll do it myself. I just want to end this video by saying that daughters who have deadbeat fathers should not have to go through this. This is very present in the black community. And as an activist, I would not think that you would be a deadbeat because you rep the black community so much. It doesn't make any sense. You cannot be a hypocrite. You can't say do A, but you're doing B. It doesn't make any sense. So y'all already heard my mission for this video. Y'all already heard why I'm making this video. So if she can reach out to me, I would love that. I would love to have a conversation with you, because you are my sister on my father's side that I have never met. I don't even know your name. I don't even know how old you are. I have a sister on my mom's side, and I'm the oldest. I'm pretty sure that my sister that's on my dad's side, I'm probably older than her. I'm supposed to be guiding her. I'm supposed to be teaching her things, because you as the father, you're not doing that. So let me do that as an older sister. But that's the end of this video. As I stated in the beginning of this video, I'm not trying to bash this man. I'm stating facts. Facts. And in the next clip, I will show y'all the screenshot of me trying to reach out to him, and he ignored me after I asked him if he had my sister's phone number. So here you go.
All right, and that's that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So the article goes on to say, the good doctor didn't waste any time striking back. Now, this is Umar's response. If you mind my personal business, I don't care who you are, Umar declared. I strongly recommend you mind your business, because if you don't, you will be blocked. He denied everything, but he went to another level. There was an interesting invitation extended to the young woman and her family. Get daughter Smurf, mama Smurf, and then Papa Smurf, and we're going to have a nice conversation in front of the world, he said. Let's get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to bring white man paperwork. So baby Smurf, please get mama Smurf, and Papa Smurf is going to pull up. Smurfs are cute and lovable. I don't like this. And what is white man paperwork? I hope we are not doing a Trump-like denial. At this point, it looks like Umar is standing 10 toes down, deep in denial. I hope something positive comes out of this, because this is the sort of mess we don't need. We need that school in Wilmington, Delaware to get finished. So there you go. She sounds very, very adamant. She's very adamant. She sounds very convicted, like she knows beyond the shadow of a doubt that everything that she is saying is true. So what do you think about that? What do you think about this situation?
Not surprised, unfortunately. Now, I knew he had children out there, didn't know how old they were. So this is the first one to actually come out and say something. And yeah, I knew Umar was just out here in these streets, man. He talk all that stuff on one hand, but I think if people were just really paying attention to him, that he doesn't really practice what he preaches. What's this, 2025? We still don't have the school in Wilmington, Virginia, West Delaware, or whatever the hell it's supposed to be at. Why? I've seen videos of him saying the reason why I didn't get the school started because I'm going to be honest, I tried to hire black people and they blah, 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 blah. And they see, we do each other wrong in the community. And I'm like, no, don't try to spin this on us, bro. You're just being negligent. I think last time whenever it was when we talked about Umar, I had brought up that, he's, for this school or whatever, him trying to do it alone. There's so many people that are willing to help him. I've seen it in some of his chats. So to say, hey man, I run a construction company or whatever. I can help you, do some of the repairs or whatever. Hey man, I do carpentry. Hey man, I do, and people were willing to come through and help, just to get the school up off the ground. But the thing is with Umar is that the school is not a real thing. So once, and this has been going on for years now, man, years. And I've also shared the story on here before, I believe, but it was back in 2012. I saw videos of him on YouTube and he was having something down in Fort Lauderdale or whatever. So I drove all the way from Tallahassee to come down. He was talking about send resumes and stuff like that for people that he wants to try to start a school down in South Florida. So this is 2012. So yeah, man, I ain't really have it like that at the time, but I'm fresh off of graduating from school. So I was like, hey man, I'm ready to give back. I'm trying to do my thing. So I go down there and he's basically, it was like a whole day type of seminar thing / job interview type situation. That's what we were told.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the whole time he was talking about polygamy. He was literally talking about polygamy the whole time. And trying to coerce the women in there to buy into his polygamous views. And it was some real people down there, bro. It was like some real people that was about that action when it comes to wanting to start a school, wanting to help our children and stuff like that. OGs, man, some dudes with gray hairs and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? They were out there and they were shocked and surprised. And one dude just, came out and said, like, towards the end, he's like, hey man, are we gonna actually talk about the school?
Mm-hmm.
We've been sitting here talking about, all of this relationship stuff. We're gonna get that, brother. We're gonna get that, brother. Just shut them down.
And did you ever get there?
Bruh, I would say out of the whole thing, and we were there for hours. And when I say hours, at least 6-7 hours. I would say out of that whole time, bro, we really talked about the school probably all of 45 minutes.
Wow.
If that. The rest of the time, we're talking about black relationships, black love, polygamy, all this other stuff. So from there, because I brought my old boy out there, I brought my sister. You know what I'm saying? I was really trying to do this thing. I thought bro was real. So this is 2012. So after that, I knew he was a scammer. I just knew he was a scammer. I felt like I got played. And so after that situation, never believed a word this man said, even though, he would say things that make sense. It's like, hey, that makes sense. That makes sense. But that's how he get people to buy into him and pay him for his lifestyle of just traveling around the country, traveling around the world, doing these fake ass lectures and pulling up on the females there. And that's all he does. So the school is just something that he talks about, that people pressed him about for years. So he finally bought one, but he's not really about it. So he just sits on the school now. And so I knew he was just a game player, just a talker, and not an actor, not like an action man. So when I heard that he had kids out there and wasn't really doing nothing about it, I wasn't surprised. And so now when this situation with this young lady coming out, whether I don't know the dynamics, because you know how things could go with baby mamas and stuff like that, But when you're talking about the prince of pandering or panhandling, King Kong of corruption, all right, you would expect him to knock those walls down and try to mend something with our black queen and our black sister. But he didn't do that, you know? So for him to do all of this barking, all of this downplaying and talking down on other black men for not, living up to some code or standard,
Right.
he doesn't do that himself. So if this doesn't expose the man as a fraud that he is, I don't know what would wake people up. But I think there's some people out there that love the cult of Umar Johnson, and they'll support him no matter what. So sad business overall. But for this young lady out here, I empathize with her. But I think she knows who he is as a character as well. But what are your thoughts, sir, on Umar Johnson out here getting called out by his alleged daughter of 22 years? What are your thoughts, man?
Wow. That's very sad to hear, man.
Yeah.
There's a guy by the name of Keith Raniere. I don't know if that name rings a bell for you. He ran a what's the right way to describe? It was a not self-directed, but it was like a self-development, self-improvement group called Next VM. Next VM, but it was spelled out with the letters NXVM, but it was pronounced Next VM. And it was billed as this. He was billed as like this self-help guru. You pay to join his organization.
I've seen that.
You pay to join his organization, and you attend these seminars, these bonding sessions, these group sessions, and you discuss the metaphysical and the spiritual, and you do healing and all of this stuff, and it's all about helping you find your center so that you can become the best version of yourself and maximize on your capabilities. Lo and behold, within NextVM, there's a secret organization called DOS, which was a sex cult. And this guy, Keith Raniere, ran this sex cult within the self-help organization. The self-help organization was a front for what was really going on, which was the recruitment of women to be his sex slaves. And he would dispatch other women who were at one point or another were also his sex slaves to be themselves their own masters. And they would recruit other women. And he sat at the top of the pyramid as the only man in the situation. And all the other women beneath him served him sexually. And in the daytime, he was this self-help person who was like, oh, let's do this. And we're going to do trust falls. And we're going to do group bonding activities. And we're going to play games and do all sorts of other practical things that'll help you with becoming the best version of yourself. And eventually the law found out, and now he's in prison probably for the rest of his life. But that's kind of what this reminds me of hearing your story. It's very unfortunate. Now, I'm not saying that that's what Umar's doing. I'm just saying that the way that you told that story, that's what it reminded me of, like a particular form of a grift in which you get to play upon people's desires to improve themselves.
Yes.
And you're dealing with a vulnerable population who will believe certain things if you're speaking the right language.
Yes.
And so long as you can speak that right language, you can get them to pay whatever you want them to pay.
Yes.
Or, in the event of women, take off however much clothes you want them to take off.
Yes, bro.
So it's crazy, bro. For his sake, I hope that that's not what's going on. I'm not trying to speculate, but that's what that sounds like. And I will say this, though, when it comes to his rhetoric overall, this is what happens when you engage in hero worship. You know what I'm saying? You hitch your wagon to a person who you think is speaking a particular gospel that you appreciate. When they start to do things in their personal lives that contradict that, you find yourself lost. Well, now where do I go and who do I believe in? And I think a lot of these lost souls end up on the cut room floor. You know what I'm saying? People who go wayward and don't know where they are, who they are, where they want to go, because they need a person to believe in. And I do think for a lot of people in our community who do believe in the tenets of Pan Africanism, look to him as a hero in some respects.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, I think that this really does burst that bubble. You know what I'm saying? It really does. It takes the air.
You would think.
Yeah, it takes the steam out of that balloon a lot. But like I've said before, you also have a lot of bad faith actors who will latch on to particular aspects of a philosophy that they want to in order to affirm the way they want to live.
Right.
So even though Umar Johnson's primary speech is based around the building of the nation and the Pan-African movement, if you are the neo-Omarion type and you embrace this whole free sex lifestyle and you want to be morally recused from having to answer to that, then Umar Johnson's polygamy talk is something that resonates with you.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter whether the Pan-Africanism stuff does or does not contradict with his personal way of living, because you believe in this polygamy, polyamory, free love stuff. So that gives you another instance in which to hitch yourself to his wagon in that way.
Yes.
And so for those individuals, he ain't gonna go nowhere.
Exactly.
So that's the power of that kind of, holier than thou philosophical jargon that some of these grifters engage in on a regular basis. Is whether you believe in the Pan-African stuff or whether you believe in the polygamy stuff, there's a reason for you to believe in him nonetheless. So even if it comes to light that he is a deadbeat, and I'm not saying that he is, as far as I'm concerned, these are allegations.
Yeah, you're right.
But if it came to light that that is the case, he's still going to have his legions of followers who appreciate him for all of that other stuff.
Yes.
And as far as those people are concerned, there are no contradictions. So, I think that part of that belief in these individuals like this, you are walking a dangerous line, in my opinion. And I do think to a certain extent, there's dangerous rhetoric that you are choosing to believe in because you want to live a certain kind of way and you need someone to tell you it's okay to live like that. And so for those people, he represents that. Essentially, Umar gives them permission, and they need the permission because they know it ain't all the way right. But despite feeling intrinsically that it ain't all the way right, so long as there's someone who is credible giving you permission to do it, it becomes okay.
Yeah. 100, man. And so, I labeled him a grifter a while ago. Just every time you see him, he's in, a hotel. He doesn't really have a home. He's either in a hotel or the school or a public area like a mall
or on the Breakfast Club.
On the Breakfast Club. And so here's the thing, right? So I'm like, well, how does he get on the Breakfast Club? But the Breakfast Club invites him because he's a grifter. Same reason why they would bring Al Sharpton up there, because they follow the same handbook of not helping nobody. And so if there was somebody up there about real action, they don't get to the Breakfast Club. But annually, Umar Johnson is allowed to continue his grifting on our community.
He's there multiple times.
Times.
He's on Breakfast Club 2 or 3 times a year.
And so my thing is with that is like, why? Who's calling this man up here? Why is he so cool with these people? He's so anti-establishment, yet he's sitting on iHeartRadio talking about all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I never trusted him. And so for this situation to come up, I'm not surprised about it. Like I said, I'm not calling him a deadbeat. I don't know. These are all allegations. I do know he got kids out there. I've never seen him before. So this is the first person that actually came out and said that, hey, he's my dad and he ain't doing nothing about it. And so all I'm saying is I'm not surprised. And I've labeled him a grifter a long time ago. Just a couple weeks ago or last week or whatever, I made a Umar joke or whatever. The man says things that are on point, but that's his grift.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, man. So, to me, he's just an internet meme. Something will pop up. I'll get a good laugh. There's great compilations out there of him just saying the most off the wall, ridiculous things. And I crack up, but I stopped taking him serious 13 years ago. So, so if this is if this is a light bulb for some people out there, then I would ask you people to look at him a little bit more critically, and evaluate him a little bit more and see if he's moved at all, from now into the next 3 years. And I'm telling you right now, he's going to be doing the same garbage, keep blaming the same things and not moving anywhere, but still collecting money in his Cash App and his PayPal. And you make sure he's going to remind you every live stream he does. So, hey, best of luck to Umar and little sister here, man. I'm hoping you find your sister. This is wild business, man. But hey, I'm not surprised dealing with a clown like Umar.
Yeah, I feel that, bro. Crazy. Best of luck to her for real.
Man.
If provided all of this is true and it's not just internet fodder, I hope she does get to figure out a way to meet her sister, because that's bad business, man. Broken up family is bad business. I don't care what anybody says, but
man, we got to protect our black queens.
Oh boy, it's crazy. That's a crazy story, bro. But the grift continues, I guess.
Hey man, grift on, players. Grift on.
Wow. Just wow.